18th century housewife or repair kit. So this is made out of a piece of bark tan uh, deer hide. It's just got a simple wallet design sewn in the back, up the sides with waxed thread. It's a simple just tie around the wallet itself. It just wraps. And this was actually made out of a piece of scrap bark tan. So it just opens up into a simple wallet. With the idea of a housewife, Hussif, or repair kit, actually, the first documented case of it was in a dictionary in the late 1740s, around 1748 to 52. They first mentioned it in a dictionary, so that tells me it was probably around a whole lot more before that, before it was actually put into the public's eye as an official word to be in the dictionaries. But they stretch from that time period that I'm looking at here, all the way up until the Civil War and to World War II. Then once we get into the Civil War, you're looking at more of the trifold style, where the soldiers would have kept things to repair their equipment, which we'll get into here in a little bit. So I've got things in here for, like, these are some early Confederate infantry eye copper buttons seen in the Western theater of the Civil War. I've also got a few things here, some period correct package needles, but that's for a Civil War impression, and we're not really looking at that. We're looking at 18th century, but I just wanted to show you that. Once you get into the Civil War era, they're still using the housewives, and all the way up until World War II, we're seeing soldiers, and through time they change, of course. So back to the 18th century style one. Like I said, this is a piece of scrap bark tan deer hide with a simple lace weighing around it. Inside of it, I keep a few basic things for repair. Now, I'm fairly new to the 18th century stuff. I've been doing living history for about 5 years now, but through doing the other things, I've tried to put things in here that I've used in the past, and I do use them on a regular basis. I actually pretty well sew out of this kit when I do sit down and sew. So it's just a one compartment. Inside of it, I've got two spare pieces of feral hog hide here for simple patch jobs. And then I've got a piece of leather. I'm not really even sure where this came from. This was in a box of random supplies that I have. It just unrolls, and it's a set of sail needles, repair needles, and inside this is smaller needles and pins. The thing with these is, if I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, if you use them, the lids don't fit very tight, and if you take up some beeswax and you melt the beeswax into the lid, it'll actually hold your bottle together a little bit easier. But I just keep some smaller needles and bobs in here, so that stays wrapped up in a set of needles. Down in here, I've got some spare buttons, metal buttons, pewter buttons, all like the wood buttons, to some bone buttons. I actually made a few of these. I did have some more on here, but I ended up using them. I had probably 6 of them that I'd made, but now I'm down to 1. I got to make some more. They're out of deer antler. In the back, I've got a set of scissors, a small piece of beeswax, keep some wax thread around of a piece of scrap leather. I keep a pretty good amount of Osnaburg. Now, this is a pretty good square, but keep in mind you're not only going to be able to use it for repairing your equipment, but you could also make char out of it if you needed to. You could make you a small poke sack. You could do a lot of things with this, and it doesn't take up a lot of room, and it's a lightweight fabric. So I had a good scrap piece of that, so I threw it in there. I've got a roll of thread, I can't remember what they call these, but it just keeps you from pricking your finger and running needles through heavy stuff. And I've got a set of just a little bit of twine. these are fairly handy. I'm not sure how well documented they are to the 18th century, but they're fairly handy for pushing things through heavy canvas or leather or whatever you're repairing. But this is the inside of it. It's just, like I said, a very simple bark tan wallet for repair kit and or housewife, however you want to say that. But if you guys like this video, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you on the next one.